That's what I'm talking about, guys. I like to see that played out pretty much perfect as far as what we were talking about yesterday. Pulled back down to $6.56 roughly, and then took its rip right up into that pocket that we were thinking would be important, somewhere between 777 and $8. We could tell at the beginning of the day that they were pushing. The volume was coming in hot. They were pushing for those $8 calls. And then, they got it. So some of them obviously got sold off, I think, but not a whole lot. I mean, you can see this red volume candle down here at the bottom, not quite nearly as tall as what our buying volumes were coming into trying to get those $8 into the money. And we see some nice volume. It could be better, but I mean, as far as the day went, pretty solid day as far as the buying pressure goes. So we're going to talk about some tight numbers just because we're at a pretty critical spot. I'll get into that and we'll look at the Ortex, and then we got GME earnings as well. So we'll just chat quickly on that too. So as always, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. It's just for entertainment purposes only. So let's be entertained. If you don't mind, hit that like button while you're thinking about it. I will get right into the information. So I'm saying we're in a tight spot because, as you can see, we've been in this downward channel. Right now, we are playing right near a breakout zone, and we are going to get pinned there going into after hours, it appears. The market probably just closed right now. So what I'm watching for, this is okay as long as we can hold this trend line, and I would like to see this kind of flatten out right here somewhere in the let's call it $7.83 to $8 range. If we can see a nice flat top with a grind up right here, hopefully that would be a break to the upside and push us in. So let's see if that holds. We're talking about tight numbers again because as far as the overall VWAP, where are we at? VWAP sitting at 785. I'd like to see it stick as close to there as possible. The 50 MA sitting at $7.71 as far as the 1 hour chart goes. So somewhere between 771 and 785 is where I would like to see us linger if we want to hang on to this. So keep those numbers in mind. As far as the upside, I mean, I think we're going to see that chop that we saw where the resistance really came in. Somewhere probably in the 820 to 830 range is going to be some pretty solid resistance. I think if we get above there, we should open up a pretty decent runway, possibly back up into the 923 range. Call it lower nines. If we can break and hold through that 820, 830, and then we're going to have just a little bit of hiccup, but I think it opens us up to a little bit more upside there as well. So it's all going to come down to what happens, I think, in after hours and pre-market. Is it going to be able to be strong enough to respect this trend line? If not, then obviously we're looking back to the downside, $7.50. I would still use that as a pretty solid number. And we'll see if that holds. And then we always have our MAs that are just floating around here. That's down at roughly 7.25. So 750, 7.25. Keep an eye on those. But let's see if GME earnings also has any impact. Now, I know that they're not associated any longer in any degree, but we do know that the so-called meme stocks, they are piled in a basket. We see one of them run. We see all of them run. It doesn't matter who has the news. It doesn't matter, who's benefiting or who's doing poorly or whatever the news comes out. That's how they all want to react. And unfortunately, Bed Bath & Beyond is in that pile, I would assume. So let's see how GME earnings goes, and if that's going to, I mean, they drove GME down quite a ways for the last several days, so it has potential to make an upside move. I think they could have been preparing for a little bit of an upside move. We'll see if that actually comes in, and if it does get that upside move, I hope that helps pull BBBY right on up along with it here in the after hours, and we'll see how it respects. As far as the Ortex goes, looks like some shares were returned, but I mean nothing major. We're talking 0.5%. Live short interest percent of the free float, 35.95%. Live short interest, 27.78 million, 139,000 change. Cost to borrow average up again, 21.06%. Days to cover at 1.28. Makes sense because the volume has been a little bit lower than what we were seeing for quite an extended period of time over the last couple of weeks. The utilization still at 100%. So all in all, I don't see too many drastic changes as far as the short goes, as far as Ortex report. Just watching right now, it's just clinging, it's holding on, so it might all come down to what is said in GME earnings. Just keep an eye on GME and see how they're responding. If they're not going to mimic each other to a T, but if we get a pop in GME, I think we'll get a little bit of a pull here. If we get a drop in GME, I think we're going to get a little bit of a drop here. Same with all of your other meme favorites. So let's see what happens. I appreciate you guys coming back and watching another one. If you caught my Space video a few days ago, check out Space if you put it on your watch list. If you didn't, I think you should put it on your watch list. I don't know what's going to go on there, but it's been on the move, and I'm still watching it. I actually have a couple of calls. They're not doing a whole lot. We need some volume to come in there, but it's moving nice. If you played the shares, you're up money. But keep an eye on it, because I don't know what's going to happen there as well. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Great day in the markets, I'm assuming. Easy directions overall. Few fake outs here and there, but SPY just ran. Tesla ran. Apple ran. All your big blue chips. Easy directions, easy plays. Hope you made some money. Play the direction it's going. Use stop losses. Don't be greedy. Take your money. Roll those options. Do what you got to do. All right, I will catch you in the next one. I'm going to see if I can catch some GME earnings and see what goes on there. I will talk to you later. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.